Listen.
Stay tuned as I take you through some exercises that can be used as warm-ups and also cool-downs to help your voice recover well after a gig.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Ronan-Pearce.
Hi, I'm Nina Ferro.
And welcome to Sound Voices.
1, 2, 3. Listen.
So I have a variety of some warm-up exercises that can also be used for cool-down exercises that aids in the recovery process and that bounce-back ability that you want to have with your vocal folds if you're using them consistently. One of the best warm-up tools, which can also be used as a cool-down tool, is of course the siren and all of its cousins. And you can do them anywhere, including the car, because, you know, a lot of the time we're busy. We're going from one thing to another. You may have to make some adjustments if you're going to warm up in the car, and I'll take you through some of those really soon. But firstly, let's look at the siren. The first one is an NG siren. So if you say the word sing or ring or anything with an NG on the end, that's what we need. So we're going to start with that one first. So what I would recommend you do is just find a place that's comfortable in terms of range, a pitch that is really comfortable for you, and start there and just say the word sing. Will give you the feeling of your tongue and your soft palate coming together. And then you can take it around your range. So here we go with that little NG siren. Sing. So try not to. You can hear that if I try and throw too much breath through it, everything's out of control. My vocal folds aren't actually closed properly. I'm using a lot more effort than I really need to use. So that's something to consider. It's about being really small. So think about making these sounds and you're trying not to wake a sleeping baby. That's always a good one. The next one, what we used to call raspberries. And I like doing these raspberries as long as we can keep the airflow at a minimum. As you can hear, there's a definite raspberry going on, but the siren is still very small and really clean. And that's what we want to try and achieve. This is what it sounds like when there's too much air going through. And you run out of air instantly. There's no connection. And it also means that you're pushing with your abdominal muscles. And anytime we do that, we sort of get this flow-on effect of too much impact on the vocal folds. There's too much interference going on. For the best tips on presentation and performance skills, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell so that you'll be notified when Vanessa and I post new videos. So the other one, if you're able to do it, and I am because I've got Italian background, so rolling your R's. I do find rolling the R's just a little tricky because the tongue is then compressed and pulled back further into the mouth. And once that happens, because our tongue and our larynx are all connected, it can mean that the whole instrument gets pushed a bit further back and down. So the raspberry might be a better option, and keeping the tongue flat and against the bottom teeth so that it's out of the way. The fourth one is humming. And humming is great. It's a little bit like the siren, the NG siren, except that now your tongue and your soft palate are apart and a lot more of the sound is happening in the front of your face. So that's where all the vibration will be felt. And it might tickle your lips and the tip of your tongue. So we want to try and get to that feeling. If you're really struggling to do that, then I recommend you go and have a look at one of my other videos that was posted recently on joy and enthusiasm, because that will actually help you to sustain these exercises. And it's kind of like yoga for your vocal folds, these exercises. So, and if you've done yoga, you know how great you feel afterwards. Everything's free and you're able to do the next thing, whatever it might be, which is just get on with your day. Or for you and I who are doing these exercises now, it might be setting you up for teaching well, speaking well, doing a gig. So all those things. The sirens and the raspberries and the humming can be really helpful at the end of a long performance. The best thing to do is take some time, just a few minutes, pretty soon after you've finished performing. Maybe go to the ladies' room, the men's room, just somewhere where you can do these exercises for a good few minutes. That way it'll hopefully take some of the swelling out of the vocal folds before they get cold completely and before you lie down. It also means that for those singers out there that I'm talking to that might be suffering with a little bit of reflux, silent reflux, which happens a lot with singers, and I actually suffer with it myself. So I've been learning to work around that. I'll put up a video about that in the coming weeks as well, but it's a really helpful tool to get that swelling down prior to going to bed and lying down where a lot of that inflammation will occur. The really important thing about cooling down after you've been using your vocal folds more significantly than you would just talking is that it helps to take the swelling out of the vocal folds. It prevents injury, and that's a really important thing. If you keep your vocal folds healthy, there's absolutely no reason why you can't be singing until you're in your 80s and 90s. I mean, look at, for example, Tony Bennett. He's in his early 90s and he is still singing brilliantly. You know, we're going to deteriorate as we get older, but if you're using your vocal folds in the right way and you keep them healthy, you can still deliver an amazing performance. The other thing to be aware of when you're doing exercises in the car is your head and neck alignment. A lot of us drive, slightly forward. And so if that's the case, then you're going to put some added pressure where it doesn't need to be. So my suggestion is, this is where you can use your headrest in a little way and just pop your head against the headrest. And what it'll do is align your head and neck. You don't want to push right into it because you don't want to be having any kind of extraneous muscle tension. Muscle tension is not a friend of the singer. Even when you're not in the car and you're doing these exercises at home or in your office, then be mindful of your head and neck and just make sure that there's some energy in your body. If you pop your head on top of your neck, then everything will be in alignment, and that's really important too for getting good closure and getting that lovely stretch of the vocal folds. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and stay updated as we add more and more content to this channel. Also, if you'd like to join our Sound Voices community for tips on all things singing, pitching, performance, and presenting, then head on down to the description below and join our Facebook group. Finally, if you would like more in-depth training, then sign up on our website for early access to our programs launching in 2021. Check out Vanessa's video on simple makeup tips in under 10 minutes. And there's also my video on 2 simple vocal tips to change your life.